is making me, it's giving me chills down my spine because I have not seen a Protoss versus Zerg this close and this in your face in so long. I mean, literally, the Zerg base and the Protoss base is one screen apart. Look, this is my screen, this is your screen, what you guys see on YouTube. MoonGlade is to the left, Huck is to the right. It could swing either way right now. Both players have a very even, no, actually Huck is a little bit behind in army, so MoonGlade has an advantage in terms of army, but the thing is, MoonGlade, it's very difficult to engage the Protoss army when they're entrenched like this, because all the structures provide backup, prevents the Zerg army from getting us around, and of course, it's very choked, it's very narrow, so the Zerg army has a difficult time engaging at that kind of position. Now, it would be nice to see MoonGlade eventually get Hive Tech on the way, because obviously Hive is nice and Hive gives you cool units and weapons that make it very, very much stronger for the Zerg army. But maybe MoonGlade's not thinking on the same wavelength as I am, and Huck here may actually be able to take advantage of that. The longer the Zerg remains on layer tech, the better chances Huck has, because Huck will be able to max out his army. He is struggling right now because he's actually running out of resources. I'm surprised Huck isn't getting a 4th base. What is Huck thinking? Is he thinking he can hold off on 3 base forever? Because the Zerg base, look on the minimap, he's getting another base, but meanwhile, a massive attack once again. No force field, so the Zealots are the force field. They're the meat shield here. A bunch of roasty-toasty units going down on the ramp, and all the Stalkers blinking forward. Oh my god, is MoonGlade gonna get pounded through? Huck here had the lower army, but MoonGlade may actually lose this battle. If he loses this battle, he's gonna lose his main base. More roaches popping out. Are these roaches gonna be enough? There are 3 Corruptors in the air. They are taking out the Colossus. More Stalkers warping in. This is a very, very close battle. The Stalkers need to focus down the Corruptors before the Colossus dies. The Corruptor goes down. The Colossus survives at 26 HP. And now this battle is getting so close. I think that MoonGlade is gonna lose control of his main base. All the forces are now rendezvousing up to the north. One hatchery gets taken down, and I cannot believe I'm saying this. I cannot believe it, but I do believe that Huck is going to push forward and take out the main base. Huck's APM at 227. I'm scared to hit the camera player view because he's probably scrambling all over the map. As you guys can see, going back to the main to macro, pumping out more Colossus. He has a very scary army of Colossus right now, and this is a place no Zerg wants to be in. This is a very tough position, because when you get a Protoss army that has this many Colossus, how in the blue hell do you deal with that? It becomes an almost near impossible task. So I don't know, guys, what's going to happen here. We can switch over to MoonGlade's point of view. He's trying to get a ton of Corruptors. The more Corruptors he gets, the better chance he has. But if you invest too much into Corruptors, then what do you have to deal with all the Stalkers? So it kind of becomes a paradox, an issue where what unit do you go with? It looks like MoonGlade now, Huck has repositioned his attacking position. Instead of attacking down at the bottom south side, he's going to actually go towards the front, and he's found a hatchery that is widely exposed. He is going to be able to take it down. The Zerg army trying to reposition itself, but he is going to allow the hatchery to go down. And nice play from Huck, just walking his forces and blinking the Stalkers along with the cliff walking Colossus, and he easily makes his way up north, and he uses that position, that terrain control to move forward, takes out a hatchery, and now Huck is in a great position because, why? Huck has a 4th base up. The Zerg army is still on 4 bases, but in actuality, how many minerals are actually left? 1 mining base, 2 mining bases versus 1 mining base, 2 mining bases. So it is currently 2 base to 2 base. And what does that favor? That definitely favors the Protoss player, who is now at a max of 200. The Zerg is at 190, scrambling to get enough Corruptors out. It is Roach Corruptor versus Stalker Colossus. It is just 2 army compositions against each other. Let's check the upgrades. 112 for the Stalkers, 112 obviously for the Colossus, 22 for the Roaches, and 02 for the Corruptors. So both armies very high in the upgrades. in the upgrade department. It looks like Huck, though, is going to fall back and he's going to wait for Templar Archives. I like that. I really like that play because obviously Templars are good. Where's the Templar Archives? I saw it on the production tab, but I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure where it went. There it is. So we should be seeing some Templars coming out soon, along with Psionic Storm. Huck has 3,000 minerals, 1,200 gas saved up, whereas MoonGlade has a piffling amount of resources, 700 and 1,200. So not nearly as good. Stalkers here pushing their way forward. Very aggressive play by the Stalkers, and that makes it so the Roaches have a hard time pushing forward to take out the Colossus. But it doesn't matter because MoonGlade has so many Corruptors. He may actually be able to take this fight. The Corruptors all using their corruption ability. The Stalkers blinking forward. It is gonna be so close. We have 10 more Hydras on the way. It looks like it was an even exchange here. The Stalkers alive. I would actually say the Zerg army came on top in that engagement. Why? Because MoonGlade was able to take out all those nasty Colossus, and that is really the main source of stress for any Zerg player. So he was able to take out all the nasty Colossus, but now he's left with all of these Corruptors, which really don't do anything, and he does not have Hive. In fact, he lost his... What the heck happened here? I must have missed some kind of a battle over here. Apparently the layer was taken out, so those Corruptors cannot morph into Broodlords anytime soon. And that is really bad, because now those Corruptors are just left in the air with nothing to attack. That's a drain on supply for the Zerg player. I really want to know what happened here. Was it... it couldn't have been Dark Templar. It must have been Blink Stalkers. They must have just came in the backside, took out the Hive. So MoonGlade made a great use of a backside attack. I don't think this damage occurred earlier on from an earlier attack that I actually witnessed. So nice play from MoonGlade, and that completely delays the Hive tech from coming out. In fact, I don't even think we have a layer anywhere on the map. There's just hatcheries. The Zerg player is running low on economy. He's still at 2 base, but the Protoss army is about to get a 3rd base up. In fact, it already has a 3rd. So Huck is just in dream la la land right now. In fact, he's getting Templars out. He's got Psionic Storm on the way. And MoonGlade is going to have to think up something, and he's going to have to think it up fast if he wants to deal with this. He has to get Lair, he has to get Broodlords, he has to make something out of these Corruptors. This army is just so massive. 200 versus 200 battle once again for the 4th time today. The Stalkers blinking back under the protection of the Colossus. So many Corruptors, though. I'm surprised that Huck actually decided to build Colossus. He knows how many Corruptors there are on the map. Why did he build Colossus? That almost feels like a waste of resources and the wrong unit to build. If I was facing that many Corruptors, literally, I would just build mass Stalkers and Templars and not even worry about the Corruptors whatsoever. Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure why Huck decided to get so many Colossus. I would really stop the Colossus production, but it looks like Huck gonna push forward here. He has now +3 weapons. Those Stalkers do an amazing 13 plus 17 or 13 damage and 17 to armored, which is a lot. That's a lot of damage. And they just picked off this hatchery once again. And remember, this is the lifeblood right here from MoonGlade. Every time he loses this hatchery, he falls further and further behind this game. The reason for that is because he's running out of resources. He's basically down to 1 mining base. This base is all he's got. He needs to make sure that that base never gets hit once again. And to make it even, he needs to hit this Nexus right now. He needs to take out the Nexus. The Protoss army is maneuvering to counter and defend, but I don't know if Huck can get there in time. It looks like MoonGlade is just going to push forward, even though the Hydras don't have speed. Storm! Storm all over, Carpet Storm all over the Roaches and Hydras. It looks like it was pretty much dodged by MoonGlade, but wow, so many Stalkers. I don't know if MoonGlade can deal with this. He wards away all the Colossus with his Corruptors. I think that MoonGlade is going to be able to deal with the defense, and he's going to be able to take out the Nexus. This is such amazing play by MoonGlade. I don't know if he can kill off the Nexus anymore. This game is just balanced on a knife's edge. We have 33 more Roaches on the way. So if we look at the bank resources of both these players, Huck is at 500, 200. He is certainly running low on resources. Corruptor is taking the detour home, and MoonGlade he's got a ton of gas. So he's got a ton of gas, but no minerals. So really, he needs to get this base up. He needs to get this base up as well, and he needs to get some money, some inflow of minerals and some bank to start to reproduce his army, because he's really, really running low. And he basically just spent all of his resources on these roaches. You know, I'd like to see some infestors coming out right now. Infestors could stop the blink stalkers and make some use of all this banked gas. And I'd really like to see a lair. MoonGlade is still running off of hatchery technology. Obviously not hatchery technology, but he's not going up to hive technology, which is really going to hurt and hinder his game. Once again, Huck going to be pushing forward here. He's got stalkers, he's got some colossus, and he's got storm over the roaches. Beautiful storm. The roaches do not have burrow, so the roaches are getting annihilated by the storm. It looks like all the colossus get picked off, but now the stalkers, nothing to deal with the stalkers, and they are actually going to take out this hive. Nice play from Huck. And I don't know what MoonGlade can do. His drones are scurrying for dear life, but the stalkers picking off a ton of them. And there we go. Now we have some warp prisms coming out. So finally we're going to see some use of that graviton upgrade, which once again I believe is for the warp prism. So we have some warp prisms coming out. Huck feeling like he is in a very, very good position, and that he is. We switch over to the army tab, 142 to 120. So the army, in the army situation, Huck isn't that far ahead. In the income situation, Huck is not that far ahead either. And MoonGlade did just establish another hatchery down here. This is the other place he needed to get some minerals at. So he is going to transfer some of his drones over. Notice that MoonGlade did destroy the destructible rocks here, so he can bring his stalkers in. He can actually just walk in there anytime he wants. Okay, I guess this is the gravitic drive. I don't know if this is another upgrade or not at this point. I'm so confused. So I don't know what's going on. I think the warp prism is going to finally get its upgrade rolling in here. We have one warp prism going up to the north. I don't see another warp prism. There it is, a second warp prism in the back as well. So we're going to be seeing some two-pronged attack play from Huck. Huck bringing in some stalkers in the back into the new expansion just to distract MoonGlade so he can warp in units from the warp prisms. Here we go. Warp prism has been engaged. Are we going to see... We're going to see units warping in. There are two warp prisms in actuality, and some zealots coming in to the main expansion to take out the tech tree of the Zerg player. No units warping in. There we go. Oh, it's going to be Templar. Notice the zealots doing some pretty good damage here. The entire Zerg army just chilling over here. The storm getting laid down all over the drones. Oh, God, the drones have been annihilated. And now the Templars recycling into Archons. I think this is going to be GG. I don't think MoonGlade can win this game. This is a huge deficit. He realizes that. He's going to go all in. One last attack. An attempt to win this game. But no, he GG's. And he says, well played. Well played indeed deserved for Huck. Huck, ladies and gentlemen, is your champion. This is a best of 5 series and an incredible series and an epic finish to that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. I am very, very tired now, and I will be retiring to my bed. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, Huck is the victor. This was a best of 5 final ace match on Shakura's Plateau. An amazing match. And tomorrow, I think I'm going to go back to casting some more of my daily ladder games. So thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. HD Starcraft, signing out.